Once upon a time, in a forgotten corner of the world, hidden between endless stretches of dry, cracked land, lived a man named Arjun. He was no ordinary man. He was a fighter, though life had done everything to break him. Every morning, before the sun kissed the earth, Arjun would step onto his barren field, his hands rough and blistered from years of toil. Yet despite his relentless work, fate seemed to mock him. His crops barely grew, his debts kept piling up, and his family often slept on empty stomachs. Meanwhile, in the same village, the wealthy landowners sat in their grand mansions, feasting, laughing, living a life Arjun couldn't even dream of. He often wondered, why them? Why not me? Was it luck? Was it fate? One evening, defeated and desperate, he wandered into the old temple at the edge of the village. He sat in silence, staring at the flickering flame of a single lamp, lost in the abyss of his thoughts. That's when an old sage, known to many but truly understood by few, approached him. "My child, why do you look so burdened?" the sage asked, his eyes piercing through Arjun's pain. Arjun sighed. "I work harder than anyone, yet my life never changes. I dream of a life where my children don't go to bed hungry, where my hands don't bleed from struggle. But no matter what I do, I fail." The sage smiled knowingly. "Let me tell you a story," he said. "Long ago, in another land, there were two farmers, Veer and Raghav. They were both trapped in the same cruel fate. A merciless drought had turned their lands into dust. The sky was empty, the rivers had abandoned them, the village reeked of despair. One day, a wandering seer arrived. Veer and Raghav, desperate for hope, asked him, "Will it ever rain again?" The seer simply smiled. "The rain will come," he said, "but only for those who prepare for it." Veer scoffed. "Prepare? For what?" The sky was clear, the heat unbearable. There was no sign of rain. So he sat and waited, cursing his luck, blaming the gods. Raghav, however, chose to believe, not just in words, but in action. He tilled his land, prepared the soil, and planted his seeds, despite the mockery of the villagers. Weeks passed. Then one day the sky darkened. The first raindrop touched the earth like a promise, then another and another. Soon the heavens opened, pouring life into the land. Raghav's fields flourished, while Veer watched in despair. The seer returned and said, "The difference was never fate nor luck. It was belief, belief that turns into action, and action that shapes destiny." As the sage finished, Arjun felt something shift inside him. He had spent years waiting for change, doubting himself, letting fear dictate his future. But now he saw the truth. Belief is not a wish. It's a decision followed by action. From that day forward, Arjun stopped waiting for miracles. He learned new farming techniques, studied the land, found ways to make his soil fertile despite the odds. While others complained, he worked. When they laughed at him, he smiled. "You'll see," he would say, "I believe in my efforts." Seasons passed. Arjun's land, once dead, bloomed with life. His crops grew tall and his farm expanded. The same villagers who once mocked him now sought his advice. One evening, as he stood outside his flourishing fields, the sage returned. Arjun bowed. "Your words changed my life," he said. "I believed, I acted, and now I have succeeded." The sage smiled. "Remember, my son, belief is like a seed. If you water it with action, it will grow into something magnificent. But if you feed it with doubt, it will die before it even sprouts." Arjun's story spread far and wide, inspiring thousands to stop wishing and start doing. Because belief alone is nothing. It's what you do with that belief that changes everything. So ask yourself, are you still waiting? Or are you preparing? The rain will come, but only for those who are ready.